Cheesesteaks.
This one's close to my heart.
Wow. Mr. Walkoff. It's the owner,
Rittenhouse Square. I live there.
the owner that you love?
Middleton.
Oh! Your top-ranked team in a year that there's not a super team, the Philadelphia Phillies, are at number 2 on the list. And Trev, for a lot of reasons, they were first in your National League East with 95 wins. They did lose in the NLDS to a division rival, which the New York Mets? Weird year. They were the best home team last year. Every stat is generally pretty well with this team. 4th in run differential. That was your DirecTV Rewind segment. Make sure, if you're ready to transform your baseball watching experience, head to directtv.com/JohnBoy or scan the QR code on the screen to learn more. Trev, we know a lot of these faces. Was there a lot of in and out this year?
Okay, that could go a couple ways. I missed some in and outs.
Burger place, yeah.
Both ways for me. So this is again a team it's kind of locked in. They have a lineup. You know who's on the Phillies.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't really need to address a lot of this, but they did add some people, some auxiliary pieces. Some would call this guy the best looking guy to ever don a Phillies uniform. Wow. That's saying a lot. We got Bryson Stott there. We got Bryce Harper. JT Realmuto.
Ooh, that's mine.
Deep Plouffe back in his heyday, hitting walk-off homers. But Max Kepler
I always forget about that.
signs with the Phillies, 1 year, 10. He'll play left field for them. Look, obviously I know this guy really well. Played for the Twins for over a decade. Yeah. I saw him when he was a pup, and he is a phenomenal person, so I'm happy that he landed on his feet here. I think he is going to get into that clubhouse, and it's going to shock him a little bit because Max has been comfortable in that Twins clubhouse. He hasn't been pushed a ton there. And I think these guys could push him in the right way where we could see a totally different Max Kepler. Like a heel Max Kepler come out would be just incredible because he's so good looking. Doesn't matter. Jordan Romano also comes over from the Blue Jays. 1 year, $8.5 million. Was injured last year. So he's coming off an injury. Before that, Jake, let's just talk about this guy real quick. Okay. In his full seasons in Toronto. Yeah. So I'll count 2020 because he played the entire thing through 2023. 202 innings pitched to a 2.29. The ERA plus is at a 1.85.
Yeah.
So he got hurt last year. Obviously, it wasn't great for him. Phillies jump on the chance to have him become their closer, and there he is. Joe Ross also comes over 1 year, $4 million. They traded for Jesus Luzardo from Miami. He's stepping into that already very, very strong rotation. He'll slot in around the 4 spot. It's excellent depth, I guess you'd call him, but he's better than that. I think he's going to end up being one of the better deals that happened in the offseason. Devin Sweet, not familiar with his game. He came over from the Tigers, a couple minor league deals, but that's it, Jake.
Right.
Who'd they lose?
So, some horses in the back.
Yes.
Remember that song? Jeff Hoffman, breakout of all breakouts. Amazing season, 66 innings pitched, 89 strikeouts. Kind of, if they needed something out there, Jeff Hoffman had it. He's gone. He's in Toronto.
Yeah, swapsies.
Him and
your fave.
And Jordan Romano. Carlos Estevez, who they traded for. He gave them 20 good games. He's now in Kansas City. Austin Hayes is out of town, never fully clicked there. Couple pitchers. Scott Kingery on this. Scotty Jetpacks is out of town. Might be a Jolly Olive video. Nice guy.
26 mil.
Spencer Turnbull, who gave them some good innings. He remains unsigned. So, some arms in, some arms out. Everyone forgets that Luzardo deal, man.
Nobody forgets that.
Max Kepler. That can go both ways. This episode's gone every way.
He has a floor because his defense. Thank you.
Can we talk about the vaunted Phillies lineup?
Yeah, it's a thing of beauty. I really do like what I'm seeing here. This is, I think, the first time where I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, this is a badass lineup, dude. And they're going to try to change some things around. We typically have seen Kyle Schwarber at the top of the lineup just hitting bombs, 1-0, if you will. It's looking like the Phillies are going to try a little bit of Trey Turner at the top of the lineup. He'll be at shortstop. Bryce Harper, we know, will be at first base. Alec Boehm, we're going to get into him a little bit because he's one of the more interesting characters on this team. He'll slot right in there in the middle of the lineup at third base. Schwarber moves down to the cleanup spot. Nick Castellanos in right field behind him. My guy Max Kepler will keep the right-left going. He'll be in left field. JT Muto down in the 7 hole. Bryson Stott, love him. Love his game. Love the aura there. He'll be in the 8 hole. And then Brandon Marsh will be in center field, turning over that lineup. On the bench, Cody Clemens, Rafael Marchand, Johan Rojas. Remember him?
Yeah.
Got to go track the ball down there in the outfield. And Edmundo Sosa. Some other names to watch. Christian Arroyo, I believe, signed a – Did I just see he signed a major league deal with them?
I'd have to double check that. Rob's on it.
It happened pretty quick. That was not too long ago. He's there in camp. Buddy Kennedy, Cal Stevenson, an outfielder. The lineup is set, dude.
Yeah.
It's pieces for the bench that maybe you juggle around, but I don't even think that is coming into play. So we know who those guys are there. We know actually who's in the rotation and the bullpen too, Jake.
Wheels up, Zach Wheeler.
Sheesh.
Give him the ball. Here's 200 innings and some Cy Young votes. Christopher Sanchez, growing.
Who knows?
6'10" rumors.
And he's growing.
6'10" rumors. Aaron Nola. Yep. Ranger Suarez. Well, a little more interesting, but not betting against Ranger. And then Jesus Luzardo. They're 5.
Yes.
How many teams would he be the 1?
As of right now, Ranger had a back flare-up,
Okay.
so his availability for opening day is in question. So if that was to happen, we'd have a Taiwan Walker kind of back in the starting
he's
rotation more than likely.
And, man, Andrew Painter's a big-time prospect who might get the look this year after injury. They got a couple other guys. And in the bullpen, we mentioned Romano. Ryan Kirkering, I always struggle with that one. Jose Alvarado is still twirling it back there. Here's your 94-mile-per-hour slider. Ruiz, Tanner Banks, Joe Ross, the boss. We mentioned Taiwan Walker. Matt Strahm going to be out for a little bit. He's been so good for that team. These are your Philadelphia Phillies. And I want to give my guy, brother Jeff Passan, a shout-out. I heard him talking about Phillies and Braves the other day, which, we'll keep this pretty Phillies, but he mentioned that the Phillies in that core, they're in their 30s. Like, we're starting to get...
Yeah.
Right? Schwarbs is in his last year of his contract. Harper, Turner...
I think Real Muto as well.
Real Muto's might be last year, also mid-30s, excuse me. That, like, this Phillies team that we for a few years are like, man, these Phillies. And, hey, they just came in ranked 2nd. So maybe I'm getting too ahead of it and I got to stop listening to Brother Jeff wax poetic.
What are you trying to say?
We thought the Phillies were going to be kind of like powerhouse unstoppable.
Yeah.
They still can be. And maybe that'll be the story this year. And maybe they run away with the NL East like they did. I asked for the big regular season. I finally got that from the Phillies.
Yep.
It's almost like we penciled them in for another World Series because nobody thought the Diamondbacks were going to take those 2 games. They did. They lose to the Mets. It's a big year in Philly.
I agree. Here's the thing, man. Like, if you're a Phillies fan, obviously you want the World Series. But what else are you going to do as an organization?
Right.
Like, they've put together, on paper, one of the best rosters in baseball for the last 3 or 4 years. 4 or 5 years. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes the season didn't really matter, and they snuck into the playoffs and did their thing. And then other times they win other times they won the NL East and ran it that way. But again, I think if you look at what the organization has done, they've done everything you really can except go out and win the World Series. I mean, they put themselves in the right position. Just hasn't happened. Which, maybe you hate that if you're in Philly, because this seems like this was going to be a golden stretch, and then kind of the Dodgers happened. I feel like
maybe
right. Like I think it was the Phillies, and then the Dodgers were like, this is a good team, Justin Turner, all these things. And then they just, it's changed, man. Well, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Ohtani, all the plethora of other free agents the Dodgers have brought in. Sorry to talk about other teams, but I think that is kind of what happened.
Well, it's the measuring stick a little bit. And hey, maybe these Phillies that I think are generally loved. I'm sure if you're a Braves or Mets fan, you're like, what? But Schwarber is one of the most beloved players we've seen come through baseball in recent years. I like Trey Turner. Remember him, Team USA? Maybe that's the other side of this. Maybe this becomes the team that the conversation this year is, can they beat the Dodgers? Because you and I both know the answer. It's yes.
Yes.
In a 7-game series? Yeah. In a 5-game series? Absolutely. That maybe that's what maybe other fan bases come rallying around this team because they're not the Dodgers. I don't know. They're going to be there. I guess I have some questions in the bullpen. Like,
Sure.
Jordan Romano, I heard the velo's up and all the good stuff you want to hear, but last year was a rough year for them. And maybe that's just being nitpicky because the rotation is stacked. Like,
Yes.
there's some teams I could be rude to if I wanted to. I don't want to. That start doing who could Luzardo be an ace for?
A lot of teams. No, the rotation's great. The bullpen wasn't exactly a strong suit for them completely. There's a couple bright spots there in Hoffman, and they don't have him anymore. Romano coming off an injury-plagued season. We'll see how he looks. Like you mentioned, he looks good in spring training. But Ryan Kirkring, go look at his baseball page.
Yeah.
Like he has played himself into an opportunity to become like a legitimate late inning leverage guy. And you only need 3 dudes like that. And potentially you're already seeing Jose Alvarado has been that throughout his career. Like, you're already seeing they have enough. Now you just don't want to lean on them too much, and that is where, the pitching staff has come in. I mean, they Wheeler and Nola have thrown and thrown and thrown. They you can't say they got their bullpen worn out. So now it's just up to these guys to step up. I don't really see a ton of flaws on this team. I mean, you can mention some what ifs in the bullpen, but I do think they have the people there. Like, they have enough there. You can go to the lineup a little bit and say, okay, here's my question marks that I have with the Phillies.
Sure.
They're not a lot, but what's Alec Bohm? What is he to the franchise?
Him and Stott. Stott took a step back.
Yeah, but Stott has a floor of defense and base running. 32 stolen bases last year. He's going to play defense.
Does he take over shortstop at some point? That's been rumored.
Trey Turner has been metrically very bad at shortstop the last couple of years. He's still my Team America shortstop.
Right.
Okay. I love watching him play. He makes great plays, and then he makes some plays that should be routine, not so good. I understand. Okay. He's working hard. I saw him out there with Dickerson all through spring training. Alec Bohm, he got benched in the postseason, man. And it was like, was it an attitude thing? It was, I believe at the time, Rob Thompson said something like, we need a different energy out of third base.
Yeah. Well, the defense has never been the thing. The first half, we were
incredible.
talking about him being the Phillies like MVP, like the most consistent player, everything. So who knows? A lot of time that happens, and that's injury related, and who knows if there was something there or not. Survives another year of trade rumors. And yeah, I think a big thing for them is because the names we know. And hey, we've seen Castellanos have good and bad regular seasons, and by the time the postseason comes, it kind of doesn't matter. He's going to go on one heater. He's going to go on one slump. There's your guy. Schwarbs, nobody ever wants to see him at the plate. Kind of the same situation come the postseason. Harper's amazing. His transition to first, the fact that's not even a conversation, is nuts and complimentary to him. I think Stott and Bohm, and even I'll throw Kepler in there. Like, if you're going to be the left fielder hitting 6th on this team, are you going to be 30 homer Max Kepler? Like you said, new environment, a lot of alphas, good stadium to hit at, good lineup. If he has 30 homers and plays good defense this year, you're talking about a guy who's about to add, I don't know, $60 million.
Can I tell you something? The alpha has never been brought out in Max Kepler. I don't even really like that word.
Yeah.
It really, super confident machismo, if you will.
Be that guy.
Has never been brought out of Max Kepler in Minnesota. It just hasn't. When I was there with him, he was a young pup.
Right.
Didn't really need that out of him. He grew into one of the clubhouse leaders there. He's been there for a long time. but nobody was forcing him to dig deeper. And I think on this roster, there's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
They're going to say, we need you to dig deeper. This is a team that all they care about is the playoffs and the World Series.
Right.
It ain't, look, hey, Max, cute what you did in Minnesota trying to win the AL Central, but this is World Series or bust for us. And I think it's going to just and doesn't mean he's going to like it and play better because of it, but that's going to be tested out of him. And I think my personal opinion on Max is we're going to see a really, really good year out of him.
Could go that way, could go the other. I think the thing that I want to check in with Phillies fans, because I guess I didn't like my tone early on in this with the Phillies. This team's great, and I believe in their front office. That, okay, Andrew Painter at some point this year, we might be looking at him as the future of the Phillies and a guy that we want to see them, with that rotation, still get innings in the postseason. Or could he kick to the bullpen? Or could he be a huge trade? And I believe in this front office. Like this team's been a Luis Robert team that's been rumored for a while.
We'll talk about that all
let's
the
say
time.
Kepler doesn't click or something else happens in the outfield. Like I think this is one of the front offices that's going to go in and make the move. Or, if they think there's a right third baseman available for their team, which again, Alec Bohm was so good last year and he could be great. He was like a third overall pick. We've seen him gradually get a little better. Is there another step in there? That obviously I'm in on these Phillies. I guess for me, the Braves are looming. Like I think the Mets, we both kind of landed in the same area. The Mets feel like 88 to 92, kind of depending on a couple things, and they'll be there.
I think the trade deadline's going to be very interesting for the Mets.
The Braves, I think you and me are both like, hey, if it all clicks, this could be 100 wins again. Things didn't click last year, and it was 89.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, I officially changed my Braves over-under from an under to an over.
So that's an official change.
Yeah, I changed it.
We'll get that.
Okay.
That I guess for me and the Phillies, we're asking some questions. I guess for me, I asked for that regular season last year. I got it. I loved it. I was like, let's go, Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Not much has changed.
I wonder if they do that and it's like, well, okay, we're going to make the postseason. Let's make the postseason. And that's when, hey, dogs are dogs. Go figure it out. Do your thing. Let's win games. That home field in the postseason has become somewhat iconic. Or, a lot of sports teams, when you tell the story, they want to find another gear that maybe they want to go win 100. And they've got a rotation and a lineup to do it. That I'm excited for this Phillies team, and they could be a really fun deadline team. Like,
yeah, it's getting to that point where they got to push the chips in. I mean, not like they haven't already.
They have, but
yeah,
they can do it to another level, and I guess I'm starting to think they will. Dude, if you want to beat the Dodgers, you can't go in with a ton of maybes.
No.
No.
And
again, I hate that my tone landed there, but I'm talking about beating the Dodgers that are considered like baseball's first super team in 30 years or whatever it is.
If there's one team that doesn't care about that, it's the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't. They
That's
do
true.
not care. Here's the thing, man. These dudes have all played with or against the best there is in the sport. They've played in the most pressure-packed spots in the sport. There is nothing, including the Dodgers, that is going to face them. All in all, before we get to the DraftKings over-under, I'll say this. I think the offense largely stayed the same. I think the rotation got better, which is crazy because they're already a very good rotation. I think the bullpen took a step back.
Hey, and that's the easiest thing to take care of if you need to.
Yes.
And it could also be good, like you're saying. I mean, Kerkering's that guy. Alvarado can throw with anyone in the world, and if Romano's back, like they can be a high-end bullpen. So it's still there.
I think it's time.
I see what you're saying. The DraftKings over-under is brought to you, by DraftKings, people. Hoops fans, it's happening. The best month in college basketball is here. Underdogs are dogging. Some of the favorites are rolling too. And it's time to lock in your picks with our partners at DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use code TALKIN. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use code TALKIN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TALKIN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. What do we got, Coach?
Jake Storiale loves a cheesesteak. DraftKings over-under win total for the Philadelphia Phillies is 91.5.
Okay.
I'm ready.
You know what always gets me with the Philly cheesesteaks?
What's that?
I'm not a big onions guy.
Okay.
So if I go to get a cheesesteak, I'll order it without onions, and basically anyone that makes a good cheesesteak looks at you like you're such an idiot.
How do you not like, as an adult, how do you not like onions?
I don't like the texture. I don't
Even
like...
when they're sweat down like that,
Yes.
there's no texture. It's just flavor.
I know, it's just like slime.
They also do a lot of chicken cheesesteaks.
Yeah, a good chicken cheesesteak will sneak up on
Sounds
you.
delicious.
I have my pick.
Oh, I do. You guys know where I'm going with this.
Oh.
In 3, 2, 1.
Over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is... Man, I like this team a lot. I've been on the Phillies train for quite some time. I just think they have everything there. Can they do it? In a singular year, can they win the 5-game set, the 7-game set, and the 7-game set? That's all it comes down to with this team. They're going to be in the playoffs. The roster is one of the most complete in the game. They have everything right there. And Bryce Harper is going to win a championship in Philadelphia. I'll keep saying it until it happens, Jake.
Jesus Luzardo is 27.
Crazy.
And yeah, his 2 years before last year, he was a high-level elite pitcher that they're throwing in the back end. And Ranger Suarez, we've seen him be the best pitcher in the first half of baseball and in postseason history. Like, I guess we're coming off doing the Yankees, who might have been a little too high at 3, especially with injuries.
Yep.
We're talking about the ifs of baseball, kind of. This team's ifs are silly.
It's very small.
They're like good ifs. Like it's
yeah.
the other direction.
Yeah. I would make one suggestion to the front office and the ownership of the Philadelphia Phillies. Sign JT Realmuto now.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think he's going to go out and command $20 million anywhere. Just like go give him like a nice amount of money. Keep him there. He starts a ton of games. Like the offense is fine for a catcher. It can be great for a catcher at times, but he is the backbone, man. Like you keep him and Harper together. That's kind of all you need. Okay? Just take that advice.
JT Realmuto, 3 WAR last year.
Dude.
Let's see, is he last year? Signed through
He is last year,
2025.
yeah.
So yeah, him and Schwarber. So I guess that's where it came. The tone I didn't love, but Realmuto, Schwarber last year, their contracts. Bowman, Stott, where do they come back up?
Yeah.
Do they come back down? Like baseball moves quick. It's a very interesting year for the Phillies. That again, it's where I opened that the tone should be more of that. Without the Los Angeles Dodgers that everyone's horrified of this year, that's who the people put as the second best team. And we're saying the Yankees should be slid down. That like, I guess it does circle back. The NL East, man.
It's going to be fun.
My God. Let us know what you guys think about the Phillies. Let us know what we got wrong, what we got right. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as we get ready for the final TPP. I've got a guess, but we'll see you there.